Welcome back to On Base Live in your Bleacher Report app. I am Mookie Betts, and today is a very special day. I got my homeboy Freddie Freeman. He's the guest today, and today is season 1 finale of On Base. It's been a special. This has been a special thing for me, Fredder. It's been a very special thing, and to have you on for the last episode. That, as I told you, that's how I got you on the show.
Yeah.
It does mean the world to me.
Yeah.
And so one day I just went and talked to him because he said no. He didn't want to do this.
I think we're at 4 months of saying no.
4 months of saying no. And he didn't want to do this. And I think I started to cry, but I didn't, I pulled on his heartstrings.
Yeah.
And I said, Freddie, it would mean the world to me if you do the last episode. And he pinky promised me.
I did pinky promise. I think we kissed our hands, too.
Yeah,
on
the pinky promise with the kiss
promise.
on the end. Yeah.
Once you pulled on my heartstrings, I have to say yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So let's get into the show a little bit. But before we do, I want to list off a couple of your accolades. 7-time All-Star, 2020 NL MVP.
Who came in second? Or third that year?
I don't know. All right. 3-time Silver Slugger and the 2021 World Series champion.
That's the most important.
That's the most important one. That's the reason why we play.
Mm-hmm.
We got another chance this year, but we'll get into that part a little later on. So now we play this game on base, off base. I mean, whether you're in or out. Very simple game.
Okay.
All right?
Let's do it.
Jay Hay elevated your style. Are you on base or off base on that?
On base before my wife came into the picture.
So I
used to wear so in the minor leagues I was, kind of a square and didn't really do anything and didn't have any style. So when Jason came along, that was when polo was big back in the day. And I was matching my polo shoes to the double XL polo shirts.
Oh, that's when the big T's were in.
Yeah, the big T's were in.
Yeah.
So me and Jay Hay were matching polos back in the day. So yes, I at least had a little bit of style. It didn't look great on me. It looked way better on him. But yeah, and then everything you see now, it's usually Under Armour head to toe, or my wife picks everything.
So does she lay it out for you and then you just put it on?
Yeah, she does like the pictures of you need to wear this with that. And yeah, nothing ever is me because I have no style.
And you don't want to take the time to learn it?
No.
Even in L.A. All the swag out here, you don't want to take it?
Well, that's why I have my wife. She's perfect at it. She's great at it. We're all not you, then look great like you do, but that's why my wife makes me look somewhat decent.
She makes you look good. Okay.
Yeah, thank
all
you.
right. Shout out to Chelsea.
Yeah, but Jason, yes, at the start.
Yes. You're on base on that. Okay.
Yes, on base.
What about this? You would rather hit a walk-off home run in the WBC than a walk-off home run in the World Series. And I think this comes from because we all know where the passion for Canada.
Yeah.
Well, we don't all know. Let's explain that.
I played for Team Canada in the WBC the last 2 years because my mom and dad, most people just know my mom, but my mom and dad are both from Canada. And I lost my mom when I was 10 years old to melanoma skin cancer. And so
that's why you wear the long sleeves.
Why I wear long sleeves every single game, just in memory of her. So, I think, yes, hitting a walk-off home run for Team Canada would be cool, but hitting a walk-off home run in the World Series, I don't know. I keep seeing clips of Max Muncy doing it here. That is as cool as it probably can get right there. But, anything with Team Canada on, and no matter what it is special just because of my mom's. But I think I would have to say hitting a
World
walk-off
Series.
home run
Yeah,
in the World
I
Series.
agree with that. I wanted you to speak on that, because it was weird, when you said you were going to play for Canada.
Yeah.
I was like, why is he playing for Canada? And then I didn't know the story behind it. So would you ever play for Team USA?
So I played for USA on the 16 and under and 18 and under when I was a kid. So,
but now you.
But no, I think it's just more of I do it for. And I've met so many wonderful people with Baseball Canada. Greg Hamilton, who runs all of that and puts it all together. You got Larry Walker, who's our hitting coach. There's just so many wonderful people, and we actually won a couple games last time, so I think 2026 we're going to be coming for you guys.
You were saying that all spring. All right, Angels in the Outfield is the best baseball movie.
No, off.
Off base. So
Yeah.
what's the best baseball?
All three of my kids are watching The Sandlot every single night right now. So really gotten into that lately. But I'm a heartstring kind of guy, so I like Field of Dreams and The Rookie, like kind of like those kind of stories that kind of mean something.
And when you grew up in OC,
Yeah, I did.
and were you an Angels fan growing up?
I was a massive Angels fan growing up.
And so you did.
Yeah, I grew up 10 minutes from Angel Stadium. So most people it says Fountain Valley on. I was not. I was born in a hospital. I was there for like 2 days in Fountain Valley. But I grew up in Orange, which is about 10 minutes from Angel Stadium. And then my family moved to Villa Park when I was 15. So which is the next town over. So.
Okay, we'll get into that.
So I grew up an Angels fan. Garrett Anderson is my favorite baseball player. Yeah, GA, and what's cool is I've gotten to hang out with him, play golf with him.
Nice,
since I've been here. So
that's
cool.
It's
really,
not everybody
cool.
gets to achieve that dream, and
No.
you did. And now you're everybody else's favorite player. Okay, so now last one.
Okay.
Cousin Freddie is a term of endearment.
Yeah, from Kenley, your daughter. Yeah.
You're on base on that.
Yeah, I'm on base.
When did that start?
It all started when we flew to Chicago together last season, in 2022.
Yeah.
You slept the whole flight, and
I think you held Ken the whole flight.
I did hold Ken the whole flight. We were playing with stickers and all that kind of stuff. So that's when it all started. I babysitted for 4 hours. You're welcome.
Not every time she sees you.
Yeah. Now I get hugs, and now she's doing her modeling poses because of her fashion stuff. It's so cute. It's so awesome.
She freaking loves you, bro. Every time we get on the phone, let me see Freddie.
Yeah.
I want Freddie
Every
to see
time
my
Mookie
dress.
FaceTimes with his family and Ken, I have to get on the FaceTime.
Yeah, so it's cool.
It's really cool.
All right, so let's switch gears.
Okay.
This year, you're probably having one of the better years you've ever had, I would say.
Yeah.
What would you attest that to? Like, what's been different this year than other years?
I've been asked that the last couple of months of like why I've been, and I really don't. There's no blueprint.
There may not be a reason why.
There really isn't. I don't know what it was, but every year you do a little bit something. Like last year I only hit 21 home runs. This year I hit a little bit more. So every year is a little different. I think it just kind of happened that I stole a lot of bases, so that's why everyone thought this. But I would say it's just more of, as I've gotten older, you just understand the player that I am and who I am, and I don't try and be anything different. I have a routine and approach to everything I do. I mean,
you do.
Like everything I do is really planned out. So I think that's just more of, and I get to have my family. I have about 10 to 15 family members that come to the games every single night. It's pretty cool. I don't want them to see me.
I see you over there waving.
Yeah, I don't want them to see me stink, so I got to try and play good every night. And then, obviously, when you have guys like you and other guys being back with Jay Hay, it just push you to be the best.
Yeah.
And obviously, you want to play as well as you can and win as many games as you can. So I think it's just LA brings the best out of people.
And so, do you feel like just comfort plays a huge part in someone like you? Because think about it, the first year you still balled, right? The first year you still balled, but it was new for you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? This was all new for you. And let's go through that. Like, how was dealing with that change? Nobody's really heard from it because you don't like talking about it. But I'm your boy, and I'm gonna get it out of you. How was it going through that change? It's really a mindset change.
Yeah, if I'm, I don't like change. I usually do the same thing every single day. But yeah, it was a massive change for my family and I. More of I was thinking of like Charlie's baseball and stuff like that, like trying to get my family settled into a new place. But I try to take a step back and realize that people, change jobs all the time. It's just not me switching a job, So, and a lot of people counted on me to do my job very well. So I was able to compartmentalize pretty. Right when I got to the field, it was easy to just put it off and go out there and play baseball. But it was a huge change, especially when I was with one place for 15 years, and then you're used to walking in and knowing every single person. And last year, I walked in that first day of spring training, and I didn't know 80% of the people, and it's nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
It makes you feel on edge, uneasy, and you got to learn the comforts of other people too. Of more of the hitting coaches, what kind of cues they can do for you, trying to understand Doc and how he works, and then get to know all the guys on the team too. So yeah, it was huge, but when you have the front office, you guys, the coaching staff, and everybody that's associated with the Dodgers wrap their arms around the Freemans like they did last year, it just made things a little bit easier to put our feet on the ground as soon as we can. But obviously when we played the Braves the first time and I got my ring, I think, and we got to Colorado that next day, it was a huge weight off my shoulders.
So you're balling, boom, this year, and you got to 59 doubles. And so every at-bat, where I know that you weren't necessarily trying to hit a double, but in the back of your mind, you kind of know I need one more double.
I think it was more I needed one more home run. For 30.
Oh, okay,
okay. But I wasn't, I don't really try for that and stuff like that. The last couple weeks, I hadn't been feeling that great at the plate. As you know,
neither one of us.
We were grinding in the cage, trying to figure it out. And I was just trying to feel good at the plate. So if I felt good, I feel like that would have came with it. And it was just like little flashes. Like I had the one game in Colorado where I hit the home run and then hit the double. But then the next day it's like I can't barrel a ball. It was just off and on. And then I had that one game, the first game in San Fran, I had the home run and the double. I was like, we might do it. But then I got to the cage the next day and I couldn't even hit the ball. And I was like, this isn't going to be good. But 59, 60, it's just, everyone loves round numbers in our sport, in our job. It's really cool, but it's really one double difference.
Yeah, it is.
Still a lot of doubles.
I sat on 39 homers.
For like a month.
For about a month. And when I tell you, I wasn't trying to hit a homer because to your point, like if I felt good, I would have hit a homer.
Yeah.
But in the back of your mind, it's like, okay, there's 2 weeks left.
Yeah.
Okay, now there's 10 days left. Okay, dude, there's only 5.
Colorado. We got to get one.
You got to get one in Colorado. Do you leave Colorado? I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah, no.
And then, so it kind of sucks.
I was thinking about 29 home runs more than the 59 doubles because I want,
that's fair.
30 home runs is kind of cool.
30 home runs is cool.
Done that a couple of times, and then, of course, I sat on it. But I only sat on it for 2 days. I'd rather have hit 39 like you.
Listen, I want to ask this because people don't know this. Going through this last month, I remember because we ride the bus together.
Yeah.
To and from the field. We're together all the time.
Yeah.
And so I see when you're talking on the phone, you're talking to your dad. And people don't know, like your dad plays a huge role as really your hitting coach still.
Yeah.
And you're, what year for this is?
This is my 14th
14th year, 14th season in the big leagues.
Yeah, so I talked to my...
You'll call in Big Fred and he'll come get you right.
Yeah, Papa Free is massive, and it's more of he is the changes my mindset kind of a thing. Like, most people just see the big picture and they see the 330 and this and that, and they think everything's gravy. But there is little stretches during that course of 162 that, man, I feel like I don't know how to hit the ball. I stand in the box. It feels like my feet are in the wrong spot. My hands are in the wrong spot. So most of the time when I feel like that, I'll call my dad and say, do you see anything? And I usually talk to my dad probably 5 times a week, even if I'm going good or not.
Right.
I like to talk to my dad.
Yeah, for sure.
Him and I are real close. But he was actually here yesterday.
Yeah, he's coming in, watching you hit.
Yeah, he was here yesterday.
I was going to bring it up.
Yeah, I'll bring it up. He was here yesterday in the cage. Working. He said I look great, and it's just, it's more of changing my mindset of like, I don't think I'm feeling very good. My dad goes, you look great, but I talk to my dad 5 days a week, good or bad, and he's still, most people don't know, but in the off season, I hit at my high school in El Medina, which is 45 minutes from here, and he still flips to me and throws me batting practice, and it's just me and him out.
And his shoulder, does he have to get his shoulder looped up or anything?
Yeah, so we play catch, and he can throw 60 feet, but
nice.
we don't. He doesn't throw 60 feet, but he can get there. But this was the first year he started not throwing as many strikes, and he was felt so bad. But I had a good year, so we're gonna have to try that again.
Yeah,
but it's just more of the bonding time and. We've done that my whole life. It's just me and him on a baseball field hitting and just having fun together. And I don't care. As long as he can throw a baseball, I'm going to do it, even if he bounces every ball to me.
So is that kind of what you see with Chuck? Like Chuck is Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie.
I see all the time you come out early.
Yeah.
And you do this a lot. Like you come to the field at least 2 hours before you would normally get to the field, if not longer. And you're out throwing batting practice to Chuck.
Yeah. So I I love being a dad. It's like my favorite thing in the world. And to create memories that he doesn't even realize they're memories that are going to happen for him later on in life. To me, it's everything. To see the smile on his face when we go out in center field and he hits a ball into the net here at Dodger Stadium. And that's what it is for me. It's kind of what my dad did. It wasn't just to do it to make him a better baseball player. It's just to do that for bonding time together. And I got 2 2-year-olds as well, so it could be 4 hours here before a game in a couple of years. And, you know, those days are usually pretty tiring, but they're the most satisfactory for me, bringing my son to the games.
Do you, when you are working with Chuck, do you, like, actually teach him anything, or you just kind of let him do his thing?
So I first year, a couple of months ago, was the first thing I ever told him. He kind of does everything naturally pretty good, and this was the first year I told him to put his back elbow up.
Oh, so you're teaching him to hit like this?
It's not to be like me, but you know, because when kids sometimes hit their elbows down, they have nothing to create more power. So now I have him creating a little bit more.
And
power.
now he's hitting bombs.
Now he's hitting homers.
Okay, let's go back to young Freddie. Young Freddie, you say you're from out here.
Yeah.
And born and raised out here.
Yep.
What did you play any other sports in high school?
No. So I played basketball all the way up until high school, and then I started traveling for baseball, basketball was the first in September here in high school. So I had to cut that out, and then I played football for 2 years when I was 7 and 8 years old. But back then, you went off of weight.
Okay.
So when I was about to be 9 years old, my weight would have been for 14-year-olds. And my dad was
so
like,
you was a double striker. You on the line.
I was the quarterback and a middle linebacker.
Oh,
yeah.
my gosh.
But then I would have been getting hit
else?
by teenagers, and my dad was like, you're not doing that anymore. My family is a big golf family. So if you see my baseball swing, the finish high, two hands, I think that's where I got it because I played a ton of golf when I was a kid. But once I hit ninth grade, it was just all baseball.
And that was just because you didn't want to play golf or do anything else?
Well, golf and baseball the same season in our high school. Obviously, by that point, I was...
you're so athletic. I feel like you would have did something else.
because I was on the varsity. I made the varsity team as an incoming freshman. So when right out of 8th grade, I graduated in the summer of 2003. Yeah, 2003. That summer, I graduated 8th grade in June, and I played with the varsity team at my high school in Medina that whole summer. So I didn't really have time to do anything more other than that. And obviously, by that time, I just loved baseball so much that I didn't really want to play anything else.
Okay, so then you're going through, and you started to... what college did you want to go to?
So I committed to Cal State Fullerton.
Oh, I didn't know.
So I committed to go to Cal State Fullerton.
Why there?
Because I was going to live at home with my dad, and I was just, it's 15 minutes.
Okay, that is such a pretty answer.
Yeah, I was going to become a CPA. My dad owns his own CPA firm with his uncle, with his brother, my uncle, and I was going to be a CPA and play baseball.
CPA, play baseball, just like Pops.
Yeah.
Okay.
We like numbers, you know.
I see. Okay. So committed to go there, and then the Braves draft you.
Yes.
And then what was the first thing you bought when you...
I bought an Escalade.
Escalade.
Yeah. And I bought that. I made my dad go and buy it for me when I was in Orlando. So I got drafted in 2007, and I left like a week later from after. I got drafted when I was still in school. The draft was, California, you didn't graduate high school until like June.
Oh, wow.
14th,
so you were
15th?
at school when your name got
Yeah, I
called.
still had a whole week of school left, senior trips, going to Knott's Berry Farm out here and stuff like that. But I had gotten drafted, so I still had a whole another week to go. And then I left, and so I told my dad, I was like, Dad, I want an Escalade. He goes, you can't buy a new one. I just won't let you do that.
So he didn't let you buy a new one?
No.
Oh,
no.
yeah.
He's like, why?
Stuff.
We can just get one that's a couple thousand miles used, and it drops the price by half the price. I said, that's fine. But I said, I want a lot of chrome. I need a lot of chrome. I don't, how some of them don't have any chrome on them, the older ones? I was like, no, I need a lot of chrome.
Want all the chrome.
I want chrome. And I said, I want to put 24-inch rims on it.
Did you?
Oh, you're darn right I did.
Oh, man, you have...
And you know what? That car is still in my family. You know who drives that?
Who?
My grandma drove that until she passed a couple of years. So my grandma, who was 80,
She was driving you.
83 years old, was rolling around Villa Park, California, 45 minutes around 24-inch rims in an Escalade. It was so great. But now my uncle has it. I've kept it in perfect condition.
You gotta let Chuck. That's gotta be Chuck's first car.
Really, there's like 200,000 miles on that thing now. So, but it's still rolling real nice. So, way to go, Cadillac. That was the first thing I bought. I came home and my dad nailed it. It was beautiful.
Okay, so you're going through the minor leagues.
Yep.
And you meet Jay Hay.
Yeah.
So
No, I had already met Jay Hay.
You had already met Jay Hay.
Yeah.
So can you kind of explain to everyone that relationship? Because
Yeah.
everyone says me and you were close, which we are, right? But you and Jay were actually the OGs.
Yeah. So I met. There was an All-American game. I don't know what it is now or who puts it on. But
like the Under Armour All-American game or something
sure
like that?
But back then it was the Aflac All-American.
Oh, okay.
The little bird. Yeah. So we were at Aflac All-American in San Diego. He was the first baseman for the East team, and I was the first baseman for the West team. And they put us up in a hotel, and there was a community room that had games and Pop-A-Shot and stuff like that.
Yep.
So that's where we all hung out before we went and played. And for some reason, we went in there, and Jason and I just gravitated toward each other, and we were inseparable that whole week. And one thing led to another. We're going to different little showcases throughout our senior year. Jason and I are always there together. So kind of attached to the hip at these things, and the next thing you know, 8 months later, he's drafted first round by the Braves, and I was drafted in the second round by the Braves. So he took a couple more months to sign. He waited to like the last day, but so it's August, and I'm in Orlando, and Jason comes, and we kind of just stayed together and hooked up, and then he left to go to Danville, which is high advanced rookie, and so he left me for a couple of weeks. But then we had instructional league together there, and then we decided in 2008 we were going to live together all the way through. And so 2008 we were in Rome, Georgia. We lived together. Then we got moved up to High A same day together, so we lived together in High A. We got moved up, High A in 2009, and then we got moved to Double A together, and so that was in 2009. And in 2010, he started the year into the big leagues. He made the opening day roster, which was one of the coolest things ever. Seeing that conversation and him walking out and saying he made the team was the coolest thing ever. But I started in AAA, and which was in Gwinnett, but we still lived together.
Oh, because it's close.
So he had bought a townhome, and we lived together, and I lived at his townhome. But so he would go south, and I had to go north, and I was like, which pushed me, I was like, I wanted to get there as soon as I could. So I played really well in AAA, and I finally got called up, and it's just kind of those relationships, kind of like you and I. It's just easy. We have the same mindset on life and our goals in life, and we've been friends for 17 years. He was a groomsman in my wedding, so things have just kind of naturally worked out. And when I did everything I could to get him here this last year, and
so take me through that. Like when you seen, because you kind of watched Jay Hay's career is the wrong word, but time in Chicago unfold, and because you were right there with him.
Yeah.
And as you saw it kind of unfolding, and you got here, and you saw that the stars kind of started to align. Like, what was how did you go about that?
Okay, so when we went and played the Cubs in 2022. I went over to his house and hung out, and we were just talking, and he was just kind of talking about the situation and how things. He wasn't going to be playing as much, and by August of 2022, it kind of came out that they were going to move on, and they were going to mutually part ways, even though he had 1 year left. So I immediately found Andrew Friedman and Brandon Gomes, and I was like, hey, Jason Heyward. And I just threw it out there. And we kind of talked about him a little bit. And I never talked about really the baseball player, Jason Heyward. I always talked about the person, Jason Heyward. Because if anybody comes in contact with Jason, it's for me, it's like a life-changing moment for a lot of people. Just the wisdom, the care, the love that he has for each and every person that he comes across. And, they accepted it for a little bit, but a month later I threw it again. I never stopped putting Jason's name on the radar. And by the off season, Jason and I were talking every single day. I said, how's it going? Because they were starting to talk, and things just kind of felt aligned. and it was just a perfect fit. I just knew it was a perfect fit, and I'm glad Andrew and Brandon saw the baseball player was perfect what we needed to. And I said, no matter what happens, he's going to be great for the young guys and for everybody else. And he signed the minor league deal, and then he came out here for 2 weeks. And, he stayed at my house for a week, and then he came up here for 2 weeks, and he immediately took Miguel Vargas and Gavin Lux to lunch. Just things. He hadn't even made the team yet, and he was just doing things that is, once you know him, is Jason. And, obviously he's had a great year for us this year, but I think everyone can attest to the person Jason is by far what we needed in this clubhouse, I think, going forward.
Yeah, I mean, somebody like him and Miggy, to be
you
honest.
can just bounce things off of him, and he's been through so much and seen so much.
It's like he's been through life.
He's already been through it, and he's come back and done it again for us. He's just a wonderful person, and we're just so lucky to have him with us.
So you guys are in the big leagues together. And
Yeah.
you guys are in the big leagues together with like Chipper Jones and
So
who else was on that team?
yeah, it was so I got called up, and we had Chipper Jones, you had Billy Wagner, you had David Ross, Derek Lowe. You had back then it was like never you had like one young guy ever. It's very rare to have a rookie because back then you had so many, and then you had like some of the younger veteran guys like Brian McCann and Chris Medlin, Tommy Hansen, Jair Jurgens. We had a good group of guys, but. Yeah, walking into the clubhouse my first day, I thought I was going to throw up. I sat in my locker and didn't say anything.
But you probably enjoyed not saying anything.
Yeah. But Bobby Cox comes up to me, and he goes, have you seen the lineup yet? I said, no, because I got there at like 1 o'clock, like 6 hours before the game started. He goes, you're in there batting 6. I said, what? I said, I'm starting today? He goes, yep, go get him free. I said, and it just walked off. I was like, oh, my gosh. So that was pretty cool. Like, I got to play for Bobby Cox my first year. And then all those other guys, Brian McCann really took me under, and Eric Hinsky was great, David Ross. Just Chipper and all those guys were so good to young guys when I first came up. That really shaped who I am today.
Tell me about this story with Chipper. There was an ATV.
Yeah.
There's the snow. You got snowed in.
Yeah.
And you guys said, "Nah, we ain't gonna be. You stay in."
Okay.
So, tell me about this. Tell me about the story.
So Chipper and I used to live next to each other in Roswell, Georgia. It's about 35, 40 minutes north of Turner Field. And so you know how we do a fan fest here, but back then it was like a caravan. So we went to different schools and stuff. So we had gone to high school and doing all this stuff with the kids, but we got alerts that were like, hey, it's about to snow. We don't know if we should continue to go. But they're like, oh, we got to go to Turner Field because there's a luncheon that we got to go and talk and ask questions. So we go and do that. It's like 1 o'clock. We come out, and our cars are just covered in snow. It's just snowing. And that day, everyone let everybody out of work and everything all at the same time. Okay, so if you thought LA traffic is bad, Atlanta traffic when everyone's on the roads is crazy. So we lived about 40 miles from Turner Field. So I had to try and get home because they canceled the last stop. And it took me 2.5 hours to get from the parking lot of Turner Field to the highway, which should take maybe 90 seconds.
2.5 hours.
Just to get to the highway. And it wasn't like snowing downpour. It was more of, it was ice. It was black ice on the roads. And they didn't salt the roads. No one was prepared for this. And so it took like 9 hours for me to get off of the exit of where I lived.
9 hours?
9 hours. Yeah, because cars were going, there's a little hill, cars would go up.
You run out of gas?
And then, so I got 9 hours. I turned off the heat of the car so I could keep I thought that would help keep gas. So then I got to the gas station, which is right off of the exit. So I filled up, and I still had like 8 more miles to get off the road because we lived far off the road. And finally, there was peeing in bottles. What are you going to do? There's TMI. Yeah, there was so much going on trying to get home. And then, so this is why I had to get home because. So we had a couple of animals. Chelsea and I we lived together in Roswell, and she had a vet appointment for our animals. she left, but I had the only key to the house.
So you had to hurry and get home.
So she couldn't get back into our house and with the animals. And so she ended up going to Chipper's house and staying there with Taylor and his wife, Chipper and his wife, Taylor. So I had to get home so we can get the cat food and stuff like that. So I was just going to stay at Jason's place if I didn't have to, which would have saved a whole, but we got a story out of it. So finally I got to like a shopping center, which was probably 15 minutes from the house. And my phone was dying. I had 1% left. And I was like, I can't make it home. I'm just going to sleep in the car. And I'll try again tomorrow. And Chipper texts me and says, where are you? And I said, I don't know the exact location, the address, but I took a picture of the shopping center and sent it, and then boom, phone died. So that was the last I had, and I was just sitting there, and then like 45 minutes later, there's a guy coming in camo on an ATV, comes into the shopping center and skids out like on purpose, and it's Chipper in full camo gear, and he had brought a jacket for me. He's like, let's go, we're going home. And so I was in, so we were on the caravan there, like, and you could see like leather jacket and pants, and I had Louboutin shoes on. But the pants right there came up to like kind of where my pants are now.
And so your ankles are probably bleeding.
Okay, so it's like 20 degrees, and we're on an ATV, and he's going like as fast as this ATV can go. I am like holding on to him for dear life. And we get back to his house. I guess Taylor didn't want him to go because, kind of dangerous and stuff like that. But my wife, Chelsea, was like, go get him, go get him. And so he found me. We got me back, and they had the fire going. I sat in front of the fire for like 20 minutes because I was just shaking. And then we took my wife's car home, and we were able to get home. But that is the story because Atlanta wasn't prepared for the snow.
That's a great story.
It's a great story, and then that's how he showed up. It's crazy. And then they made a bobblehead out of it. And then we had
out of that?
Yeah, there was a bobblehead of him and I.
Both of you guys on the ATV?
And then we did a commercial. He was driving. We were at Turner Field, and he was driving an ATV in Turner Field. And
good for him.
He's all retired, so he had nothing to do because he had been retired for like 2 years. So.
That's
it was wild, but I don't want to ever go through that again.
No, out here you won't have to worry about it.
No, we don't have to worry about
that. You don't have to worry about that. Okay, so speaking of out here, we've been playing pretty good this year, and I think a lot of people didn't really expect it from us. And I want to hear from you why you feel like we have been successful this year. I have my own opinion about it, but I want to hear from you why.
So. I've been on a lot of different teams and how to navigate through the course of a season. I've been on a team that won the World Series when we won 88 games that year. Last year we won 111. Felt like we had a juggernaut team and we lost. And then I've been on 97 lost teams. So there's been so many different ways. For me, if you look at it from start to finish, we have Clayton Kershaw is the only one in our starting rotation that was there at opening day. We have 4 new guys, and they're pretty much all rookies.
Rookies, yeah.
And then, I just think it's more of our offense was stable throughout the course of the year, and then our pitching was going up and down, and then all of a sudden everything started to click. Pitching, relieving, like the back end of our bullpen with Brazier and Bazooka and Ferg and Evan. Everything just kind of started to come together, and I think it's more because of the clubhouse culture and atmosphere that we created down there, that everyone started to feel comfortable and with each other. Everyone learned their roles. You add in Kike, you add in Ahmed, just things that kind of are not the massive piece that you just throw into a puzzle. It's the pieces that you just fit perfectly into a massive puzzle. And for me, when you have rookies that take the steps that Bobby Miller and Ryan Pepio and Emmett Sheehan from the start of the season to what they are doing now, it is drastic differences in how they carry themselves on the mound, their poise, what they're learning every 5 days, and obviously James and his rookie season. It's kind of amazing, his rookie season, how he plays center field. And then obviously the coaching staff in the front office, everyone pulls on the same string here, and I think we just have a lot of pieces, and then you have us being at the top and just every day,
Yep.
and it helps Doc able to find lineups that work for us. And I think it's just more of everyone just 5-6 weeks in the season just realize like, oh no, we're really really good.
We're a lot better than we expected.
Wait a second, we're really good, And everyone in spring training was like, oh, we're not going to win all these games, the Padres, this and that, and you just you block it out like we do, but then you start playing, and then we're playing 500 ball for like 5-6 weeks. And then we caught fire. Then we win like 15 of like 17, and then we were like, okay, we're really good. Mickey Rowe's been unbelievable at shortstop. Just things, the defense. Our defense, I know at the beginning of the season wasn't very good, and then the last like 4 months of the season, our defense has been really, really good. And then our pitching followed it up, and things just kind of aligned, and we just knew we were good, and we started playing good.
I think at the beginning in spring, we lose. The talent that we lost, it's hard to really believe that you're going to be just as good, right?
Know.
And so I was on the other side. I had been here. I mean, I guess you had been here as well, but I was like, you know what? The talent that was here and we didn't win, like, I wonder how this is going to be. And then it was really, to your point, the clubhouse.
Yeah.
That I think that's kind of really what kind of
It's just like if there was little clicks going on, we just sucked those clicks out and just put you, like, everyone just was perfect in our clubhouse.
Yep.
I mean, you lose Cody and Trey and Justin, who's been here forever.
Max Scherzer.
Yeah, like there's just so many people that you've lost that it's like, oh, how can they? But
you can't. But you can't even. We couldn't even try and replace.
No,
that
you
talent,
can't. You can't replace Trey Turner.
No,
you know what I mean?
Replace Trey Turner.
I mean, you saw what he did the last 2 months with the Phillies and put them into the playoffs too. But I think it's just more of the clubhouse and then how close we got. It just transferred onto the field because everyone actually cares about each other, and when you pull for each other and want each and every person to be successful, that's what kind of happens on the field.
Okay, so in playoffs here, what team? I think the people want to hear. What team would you? Obviously, every team is good.
Yeah,
we're not saying no team is bad. By
every
any
team's
means.
going to be hard.
Every team. Who would you say? Okay, I would not like to face them right now.
Well, I mean, we got the Brewers or the Diamondbacks.
Right.
So which starting rotation would you?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, you got Gallen, Merrill Kelly, or you got Corbin Burns, and they just lost Brandon Woodruff.
They just lost. That's the only thing.
But,
but
there's
still.
no really like pick your poison in that.
It's all going to be hard. It's just going to be a different hard.
Yeah, it's there's no like you can't say I want this team. Like we're all in the playoffs. There's 6 teams from each. Like you're the best 6, but. I mean, for us, I mean, I don't know. Would you want to play someone you're more familiar with, as in the Diamondbacks? You've played them 13 times. You know how we know what to expect. I don't know.
They know what to expect too.
But we went 5-1 against the Brewers.
Yep.
So there's no answer you can really give. I mean, do you want to fly 45 minutes or do you want to fly 4 hours? So there's always different avenues. Like, is it easier on us to only have to go to Arizona or with travel and schedule? So there's no answer you can really give. I mean, you're 2 great teams.
It's going to be hard. Yeah,
it's going to be really hard.
It's gonna be rough.
If we play our game, I feel like our game is good enough. So we just got to be able to control the outs, don't give extra outs, and get the big hit.
So we got to kind of fast forward a little bit because we got practice.
Yeah.
We got practice in a little bit.
Yeah, we got fans coming today.
We got fans coming today. We may have to get you on for another 30 minutes, depending on how season
how
2
hard it
goes.
took for me.
I know. We'll see, because the people want to hear from Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman's the man. But I do have a couple fan questions.
Okay, let's do it.
A couple fan questions.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's the funniest teammate on the Dodgers?
I mean, I think we all have to go with Miguel Rojas.
Miggy Rowe.
I don't know.
PK is up there too, though.
But I don't know if that's the funniest. I think it's the most fun. Like,
yeah.
he brings the most fun out of everybody.
But it's going to be funny, too.
It's going to be funny. I mean, we're all laughing. I mean, he dances 4 minutes before the game in our dugout. And
he's twerking.
He's
then he goes
on
play
the water coolers. And that's also why we play so good. He keeps everything loose. We just have a good group, but I would have to say Miguel Rojas.
Okay, so I got another question. What do you think about Acuña's 40-70 season?
40-70. So
think about 40-70.
Yeah,
me and JD talked about
I don't
this
even know how you could fathom a 40-70 season. That's That means he's just running he's running every.
Yeah, just running. If he stole 70 bases, how many times did he run?
People, we haven't seen 70 stolen bases in that long, But the thing is, I think what took him to the level that he's at is his strikeout rate has dropped drastically, and
so those are just like balls in play now. That's better chances.
So he's putting way more balls in play. I mean, everyone knows that he's one of the best players in our league, and he just put everybody on notice. This might be a yearly thing. He's that good, and you could see right when he came into the big leagues in 2018 that this guy's gonna be special. And everyone forgets, 2021 when we won the World Series, we would never have been in that spot without him. He had 1,000 OPS all the way up until the All-Star break. So. We thought we had no chance that year when we lost him, and he's been doing this, and then last year coming back from the knee, I think this is I don't know, 40-70 every year. That's a lot.
That's a lot, but this is him though.
It could be like a yearly thing. He's really an incredible athlete, and he's an amazing baseball player that. When we're done playing, he's going to be still going. We get to watch for a long time.
Well, when you're done, I'll probably still going.
You still got 48 more years to go.
Okay, so last question. Who is Freddie's co-GM in fantasy?
Well, right now, I have it's me and our clubhouse attendants.
The clubbies?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
so they run it, though. You don't
I don't even he sent me a picture. Gabriel sent me a picture of our team, but we're 1-3. And I have a lot of questions right now.
Oh, yeah.
We scored 70 points last week, right?
Wow.
It's just, no.
It's
unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
Right?
If you're
I need trades. I asked for one thing, and that was because me and Mike Williams, the receiver, are really, really good friends, but he just got hurt. He didn't even draft Mike Williams. I wanted Mike
Williams. All you wanted.
Yeah, that's all I wanted. But
didn't even do it.
But yeah, so we're 1-3 right now. We're pulling up the rear, I think.
That's all right. It's all right.
We still got time. We got Mahomes.
Oh yeah, you good. You're fine.
Right?
You're fine.
Yeah, he's good.
You'll be all right.
We'll be all right.
All right. So we got to head to practice.
Yeah.
So I got to wrap. This is the finale of the last episode. I'm sad. So I got to tell everybody bye. To the Bleacher Report team, thank you. To the ladies that have been here every day, Abby, Jackie. Audrey was on the team, and then she decided to leave us. So, but shout out to you, Audrey, Kelly. Thank you, guys. I really, truly, from the bottom of my heart, I mean it. Thank you, guys. You guys have made this wonderful, very enjoyable. It's fun coming to work every day. You guys mean the world to me. Guys behind the cameras, thank you, guys. I want to give everybody thank you, and be on the lookout for season 2. See you guys.